Okay, so now I'd like to just do a short review on the use of the DIDD medication variance report. This document will be available in your homes so that you can complete med variance forms immediately after you identify or immediately after you cause a medication error or variance. And they're very simple to fill out. I just want to touch on a few things here. The name of the person, obviously, that you're supporting goes here. Please don't put their social security number on the form. If you know their age, great. Obviously, you know if they're male or female. The date the med variance occurred or error occurred is the date that it happened. And then you're going to just mark appropriately which day of the week that was. And then you're going to just simply put an X for the time of the day that the error occurred. When you're looking at the location here, please note that you can choose either home, day program, community work, or other. If a person is out in the community and the error occurs in a specific location in the community, down here in the comments section, I would like very much if you could write in your specific location. That way, if we identify that we have lots of med variances on a certain day at a certain location, then we can look at that location on that day at a certain time and decide how we can better administer medication more safely and accurately rather than just saying community. Classification of staff and staff status. Most of the time the DSS is who is responsible for med variances, since you guys are the ones who administer more medication than anyone. So that would be appropriate to mark. But notice you could choose nurse, pharmacy, physician, or other. And then when you're looking at status here, please keep in mind that regular status means that someone works with that person on a fairly regular basis. Float or PRN is appropriate when someone has been asked to come to your home to administer medication and they don't work there very often. When you're doing drug and dose ordered, please keep in mind that the medication not only is the name of the medication, such as penicillin, but drug or medication includes penicillin 100 milligrams. And then you have the dose separate, so it's one tablet, one capsule, whatever that's appropriate. Drug and dose administered. Hey guys, if you don't give a medication because you omitted a dose, or if you don't administer a dose because the person refused, then would be blank. Okay? Most of the time you're not going to know if this is a high alert medication, so don't worry about marking that. We'll fix it if we need to. And you'll know if they're allergic or not, so you can mark this appropriately. And then tell me what went wrong. Just tell me what went wrong. Was it the wrong person? Did you give the wrong medication? Was it the wrong time? Were they in the wrong position? Etc. When you get down to dose, you might notice that there are smaller boxes here that you say extra or omitted. If that's appropriate, please mark that one as well. Date the variance is discovered is really more important than you may realize. If a med variance occurred on the 4th but was not reported until the 10th, then we would want to know why there was a delay in reporting. Why did so many days pass? So it's really important that you put the date that variance was discovered. When you're looking at factors, I'd very much like it if you could just mark medication use system. If I feel like I need to change that, then we'll take care of making those changes at this level. And then give me a description. Did the physician prescribe a medication the person was allergic to? Did the pharmacy package one pill in a bubble that should have contained 2? Was it a transcribing error? Maybe the pre-printed MAR did not come with a new medication and you had to transcribe based on your training in med class and you made a mistake in transcribing. Most of the time, the description is just administering. Now, sometimes you'll find procurement and storage errors, and I know that if you've been through med class recently, you know this is a big test question on the med class written exam. If a medication should be refrigerated and you don't find it in the refrigerator, but you find it in the med cabinet, then that would be a procurement and storage error. And please don't ever mark monitoring. As an unlicensed, certified staff, You are not able or allowed to make assessments. You're not able or allowed to evaluate a person, and you can never make a judgment call. Does this person need this service or not? So just leave monitoring off. In the comment section, remember I said let's give a specific location in the community so that we know what's happening. But also, if you'll notice, on the form, there's no place for the person who's responsible for the med variance. And that's important for us to know because we do have a disciplinary process in place, and we want to make sure that everybody that needs to be addressed or coached or whatever is given that opportunity. So put the name of the person that's responsible for that med variance here in the comment section as well. When you get down to the categories, potential and actual, please keep in mind that the potential errors had the potential to be harmful, but they were caught and everything was okay. For example, a medication was administered per the order, but you didn't document. Okay, that's a potential error. But an actual error means that the person didn't get the medication the way that they were supposed to. It could also mean that the physician wants to check them out a little bit more. It may mean that they need to go and see their physician or even be seen in the ER. It could also mean they were hospitalized, that as a result of the variance they had permanent harm, or they experienced a near-death event, or unfortunately death. If you're unsure how to mark down here for potential and actual, that's okay. Do the best you can, and we will fix it when it comes to us if we need to. You won't always know if a practitioner was notified. You may know if a reportable incident form was completed, and you would mark appropriately here, and you may or may not know if the investigator had been notified, so mark that appropriately. And then the last thing, if you're the person completing the form, you just need to put your legible signature and title and the date you completed the form. Everything from the outcome below is done by SMRs, HSCs, etc. So it's not something that you would be concerned about after you get to this point on the form. And again, as always, if you have questions, you're unsure, please do not hesitate to call me.